Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today right here I have with me the Realme C25s. This is a phone that was announced just yesterday and I have got the phone here, and I'll do an unboxing in this video and give you an overview about this phone, the specs and everything. And here you can see the packaging. Here you can see the main, the highlights of the phone. The same Helio G85 processor, but has a 48 megapixel main camera, an 18-watt quick charging, and a 6000 mAh battery. 6000 mAh is pretty much common in almost all Realme smartphones. And here I have gotten the 464 variant, as you can see here. You might remember a phone that was released a few months ago with the name of Realme C25, the non-S variant, and I kind of gave you a general opinion about that phone, that it came with a Helio G70 processor with the same 48 megapixel camera. Everything was same in the C25 phone, but the only difference was that it had a G70 processor, and the price of it was more than 25,000, like between 25 to 30,000 Pakistani rupees. This phone, the Realme C25s, which is almost the same phone, but the only difference is that this phone has a Helio G85 processor. That's the main upgrade of this phone over the Realme C25, and comes at a much lower price of 22,100 Pakistani rupees. So do an unboxing and show you what you get in the box. So I'll just start an unboxing. It's very tight. So as you can see here, welcome to the Realme family. This is kind of a common line for Realme, and I'll show you what you get in in this leaflet. You basically get a SIM ejection tool right here, and also a SIM and a case. This is one of the things that a lot of smartphone brands they give a case with the phone, but some Realme smartphones, like the initial budget smartphones, did not have a case with them. So as you can see here, here's the phone. I'll just take it out. I'll just turn it on later and show you what you get in the box. This is the 18-watt charger brick. This is the 18-watt charging brick, and this is the USB Type-C cable that you get with the phone. It's almost the same, like some things are really same with this phone, like the charging speed and everything. The only thing is that you get a case with this phone. And as I told you in my Infinix Note 10 video, a case that comes with the phone within the box is 100% sure that it is made according to that phone. There is nothing like it's made for some other phone, but it can also fit on this phone. This is 100% the perfect fit for this phone. So I'll put this case on the phone later on. So this is the things that you get in the box: the charger, the cable, and the rest is the quick start guide. So this is what you get in the box. I'll just keep them on the side. Now I'll get to the phone. This is like the cardboard, and I have gotten this phone in the water blue color. It also comes in a water gray, but I think the water blue color looks nice. And yes, it's not 100% blue. It's kind of a bluish gray, like it has a slight bluish tint in it. That's what I would say about the color. The design is almost similar, like with the camera style, the fingerprint scanner, and even the notch in the front, and maybe even the chin might look the same. But the main highlight about this phone is the processor. I'll just put the case on so you can see what this phone looks like. So as I told you, like a phone that comes with the case in the box is most likely to fit perfectly on this phone. And as you can see, there is no any air space between mostly the phones which I have gotten, which don't have an official case, but some other series phones case will fit on it. There is usually some sort of a weird kind of space left here around the camera. So that's one of the things that I really like about cases coming within the phone. So as you can see here, this is the USB Type-C, the regular things, the headphone jack, here's the notch, and it's a 6.5-inch display as usual, which is common for most Realme smartphones, and most Android smartphones come with a 6.5-inch display. There are some smartphones that come with a that comes with a higher, bigger screen, like a 6.9-inch display, a 7-inch display. But the standard, I would say the standard is around 6.5 inch. Now what I'll do is I'll just set up the phone and I'll get back to you once I set up the phone and I reach the home screen. And as for the, the SIM card slot, as when I take it out, you can see here that this phone has the option for 2 SIM cards and 1 memory card. So there's no, some smartphones or some brands, what they do is you can have either 2 SIMs in the phone, or you can either have 1 SIM and 1 memory card. But the good part is that in this phone you can have both the SIM cards and the memory card, so you can expand your storage as well. That's a good thing, and I really want more smartphone brands to do this. So as you can see here, I've just started this phone. This is the boot up screen, like the initial screen which you get on when you start the phone. And I think it will show you some animation. Yeah, right here. This is the, the generic Realme boot up logo, as you would get on any phone, on any Realme phone. So here is that, and it's doing some animations. And initially when you boot this phone up, it does take some time. Yeah, now it's gotten, started. Now it's on the, language page. So what I'll do is now I'll just set it up and get back to you once I reach the home screen. As the phone is, doing some, checking for updates, I'll just give you an overview. Like on the right side you have the power button and the volume rocker, and yes, this phone is in the case right now. Here in the bottom you have the headphone jack, the USB type C port, and the speaker. At this side you don't have much, just the, the SIM card slot, and above there is nothing, it's just empty. And on the back, the fingerprint scanner and the camera. And what I can see is this phone has a triple camera, this phone, and it has a 48 megapixel main camera. That's one of the main things about this phone, the 48 megapixel camera. But even above the 48 megapixel camera, the main highlight of this C25s is the fact that this phone has the Helio G85. And what I've seen right now in the Pakistani market is that a lot of smartphone brands are trying to get the Helio G series of processors, maybe the G70, the 80, the 85, or even the 95, so that they can bring their phone at a lower cost. Because the Qualcomm processors are good. It's not that they're bad. It's just that they don't have a real competitor. Like MediaTek doesn't go for the high end. Like they don't make any kind of high end processors that would compete with MediaTek. So smartphone, the Snapdragon is only reserved for mid range to high end. The MediaTek, they are for the budget to mid range. So that's one of the things. Like it's like in the lower side, the MediaTek is really the best processor, and when you go for the high end, you get a Qualcomm. So that's one of the things. But few years ago, when you would get a MediaTek a phone that has a MediaTek processor, people would guarantee you that phone would have a bad experience with that phone, because to be honest, it was not that good of an experience for anyone who would buy a phone that with a MediaTek. And at that time Snapdragon was making the budgets, budget chips, the chips that would run on budget smartphones. But even now the budget the processor like the Snapdragon 400 series, even those are now reserved for almost mid range. And almost every single company, even like Samsung, who would never go with the MediaTek, they would either go with an Exynos processor which is their own, or with the Snapdragon. Now even they are going with a MediaTek processor, even to provide a budget phone with a 5G experience. Even for that they are going with a MediaTek processor, which is good for the company MediaTek itself. And they are kind of slowly but surely they're kind of getting to a point where they can slowly compete with Snapdragon at the mid-range level. So that's one of the things. Now I thought I will tell you this point while the phone is checking for updates. Now I'll just get to continue with the setup and get back to you. Hey guys, so I'm back. So I've just gotten to the last page. This is like, from here I'll just get to the home screen. So here I go. Like this is, like you can see, this is a very default kind of Realme setup of the Realme UI. Like there are some app updates going on in the backend. This is kind of a usual Android thing that's going on. Like you can see here all this, and this is Android 11 out of the box. Like you can see the bloatware. The good thing about Realme UI is that some of these things are uninstallable. Like TikTok, I don't use it, so it's uninstallable. And some apps like here. So you can very clearly see here that it's a stock experience, like I say in every Realme related videos. And here you can see, I'll just the thing about this phone is that, like, if you think about it, you can I what I can tell you is this phone is very similar to the Realme Narzo 30A, like even software situation. But the one thing that's different on this phone is that, like you can see here, this is one of the things that happens on every Android phone that I've used, that for some reason, like, and over time what I've learned is that, since there are some, like this, like you just saw the notification, this notification, this is because of which some background applications or whichever applications are being installed, whenever I try to use a phone, when this thing is running in the background, it's very hard for me to use the phone will feel kind of sluggish, a little bit of slow. But once that initial setup or initial every these kind of things are completed, then it's like a perfect running, like no issue, no hanging. Or the only time you will notice maybe a hanging is maybe if you're putting too much load on this phone. And by load, what I mean is, like, running too many applications back to back and everything, then you might be able to notice some difference. But overall, I'll just go to the settings page and show you the Android icon. So I'll just go back. As you can see here you can see that Realme C25s, Realme 2.0, and the Android 11. And here you can even see the processor and the storage. Here you can basically see all the details of the phone. So, and it has the July security patch. I think this phone, because the thing with Realme is that like this phone might be released in India maybe a month before, and now it came, and now right now, like literally a day before, this phone came in Pakistan. So this is, like you can see here, the Android skin, the Android emoji or whatever you say to this page. Here you can see. So it's basically, but right away, like, other than that slight sluggishness, because of that initial setting up and everything, if I go to the app info page, it rolls fast. On Realme Narzo 38, this was the page that took a lot of time. The rest of things were slow at beginning, but then it got fast, and then the heating even. Now, as you can see here, it's stock Android 11, all these same similar options and everything. It's giving me this initial tutorial and everything. In the future videos, what I'll do is I'll give, this is just an overview of this phone. What I'm giving you here is just an overview, like even the camera, when I open this initial permissions and everything. In one thing I noticed in Android 11 is that any phone that comes running Android 11 or has gotten the Android 11 update, there is one option that if I go into the app info page of any app and show you in the permissions, this option is available now, which wasn't there in Android 10. And what this basically does is, if an app, there are some apps that you have installed and you have given all the permissions, but sometime later you're not even using those applications, some permission will be removed, which I have experienced, like on the Infinix Note 10 that has Android 11 has this option enabled. And what happens, like when I use Instagram, I don't use the camera that much, so what it does is it just removes the permission of that particular action. Like I don't use the camera that much, the permission is removed, and whenever, like I swipe over to the camera, it asks for permissions again. Same thing happens. Yes, there are some applications, maybe the dialer application might not have this option, because it just requires some, like you can see here, this option is disabled. So it's like the stock Google apps, some apps which are core to the phone's functionality, those don't have that option, it is disabled for them. But for the others, like this Facebook, this will have that option. So it depends. Right now it doesn't have any option. This is disabled just because the app has to be updated, and there will be a lot of updates, like as you can see here, like you just saw in the video, this delay, it's it's kind of setting up. And that's kind of a common place, this. And it's not that that much of at first, and when initially I used, like, the camera starting delay. But once I give it a day, this phone sets up, then it will be fine, it will be running very fast and everything. Here you can see all the options that it has and everything. And in the settings, like here I have the 1080p 30 and a 1080p 60. So there is one thing that I noticed a difference between the 30 and a 60. So I like that this option isn't available in this phone. Like if I go to the video, like you can see here, like you see the preview here, it's very smooth. Once I'll go into 1080p 30 and I'll show you the difference if you can notice it. I'm not sure whether because this video that I'm recording is in 1080p 60. So as you can see here, it's very different. Like you can what I will say this is you can almost notice some jitteriness in the video. So I think it's very well optimized in this phone. I think the in I had two phones that have the same 48 megapixel camera here, which the Realme has, but I have never seen a 1080p 60 option in those phones. So this is one of if you think about the unique selling point of the phone is that this phone's camera video can record 1080p at 60 frames per second. It also has a night mode, the photo mode, and this 48 megapixel mode. Almost every phone has one of these options that takes in that specific resolution. So this is the overall overview of the phone. I'll set get my apps on it, run use it for some few days, and then give you my overall review of this phone. And then I'll also compare this phone with the Infinix Note 8, which is kind of very close to this. Like the Realme 30A, it was close to the Infinix Note 10, but the camera was not that good. The camera was a weak point of the Realme 30A. But this phone, the camera, you can say this is a Realme 30A, but with the same camera. Yes, the front facing camera is the same as the Realme 30A, but the back camera is an upgrade, and that the video mode has a 1080p 60 frames per second option. So that's one of the plus points for me. I really I value a camera that has at any resolution at 60 frames per second option, because I like the smoothness that I get in my videos because of that option. So that's all. And you have seen this phone running in for a few minutes now. There is no that jitteriness or stutteriness or whatever that was happening, and I think even it's still happening, but no now it's not hanging up and everything. It's just setting it up. And yes, during the initial setup you will feel a little bit calm. And I even like this this design of Realme, that this Realme logo going on the side with the Realme logo. It's not that huge like some brands. A lot of brands had a very huge branding like here. This phone also has, but it's kind of on the side, and it's kind of a medium. I'm okay with this design. So this is my overall overview, and in after using it for a few more days, I'll give you my review about it, what I think about this phone as a whole, and whether you should get this or not, and what I think about the price and everything. What my initial impression is, that what I feel right now is that this phone is the thing I say, value for money. A lot of people have they don't buy phones a lot, but they have they are like, okay, I want to get best value for money, and I think right now this phone is providing best value for money. So that's all, and this is my unboxing and overview of this phone. So that's all for today, and in the coming days I'll give you my review, the comparison, and if you want anything else related to this phone, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll link all my other videos to the other phones that I have unboxed, reviewed, compared. So do like and subscribe, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you're interested in getting more of this content. That is the way I will know that you want these kinds of videos, like the smartphone unboxing, the review, comparison, whatever. And and if you want anything specific related to this phone, like if you want the any kind of specific option you want to know about, how is it there or not, or something like that, do let me know in the comment section below. I'll try to make a video about it if I feel like that thing requires a video, or I'll just reply to you in the comment if it's a little thing and I can easily convey the message to you in the comment. So that's all for today. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.